Hello. Um, it's been easy. And well, let's go to the future for a minute. Okay? Because um, we live in a time where a lot of highly advanced technology, you know, I'm talking the type of technology that would be seen as witchcraft. And these maniacs have possession of it. Okay, so I think it's important that we get ahead of it. Because again, why? They're maniacs. They have proven to be maniacs. Look what is happening now, yes? So, this video is the intention of this video really is to wet your feet. Okay? Wet your feet. Okay? Meaning there is more to come in the near future pertaining to this particular matter. Okay? So let's go through it quick, okay, because I have some pictures also, because as I've said, it's not a video focused on a very specific subject. It's a dump. Okay? So, ley lines, magnetic fields, that phenomenon that we see in Uganda. Okay? So, the phenomenon like the true north, or the phenomenon that we see across the world where levitation seems to be possible. Okay, there's even a house that is hanging by 90 degrees, just by the edge. And it's not tipping over. There is a rock that is floating out there, right? So there are these phenomenons. And most recently, I talked about this in a very, very old video. I think it's almost impossible now to find data on this guy. Okay, and this guy is called John Hutchinson. Okay, and the effect is called the Hutchinson effect. Okay, look into it, you people who are interested in science. Okay, and he demonstrates the power, the frequency, vibration, and energy. When these things are combined, there are some amazing things that can happen. Okay, and I have personally seen the footage of this experimentation, really old footage. I'm talking VHS to digital type of footage, and it has vanished since then, and I didn't really follow up after that though. But let me tell you, okay, it's amazing things. Okay, that guy made a whole bowling ball float. And that guy melted iron without even using heat. Okay, well, these are things that are gonna be unleashed, and when they are unleashed, something will happen to what we know as war itself. Okay, so there is more proof, of course. There are videos out there trying to show that every type of music ever created creates a very particular and very unique pattern when they usually have these membranes of, I don't know what type of material, and then they pour on top of it some solids, okay, small particulates of solids, and then they activate the music, and then that vibrates the membrane, and the membrane itself creates these beautiful patterns according to what the music is actually broadcasting in terms of frequency. Okay, of course we have this, what we call graphene, or even iron shavings. They react to magnetic fields, and there's not much exploration in the magnetic aspect, and of course there's a lot of lies. Okay, I just dipped my toe into this subject, and I think it always came back to the DC AC argument, okay, and how the world is slowly switching. Okay, the real question is, why was the common currency, I'm sorry, I'm near I'm near people watching a soccer game. So why did they choose that type of current, and why are they reverting back to that same current today with induction stoves and solar cells and all of this, you know? And they had claims, but those claims were false. Okay, they were false. Okay, the only thing that guy ever created that worked was actually a bulb, and the bulb was not even his invention. So that's something to think about. Okay, not all men are evil, but some are really evil. Okay, and it's on their benefit to suppress such technologies. Okay, we have heard engines running on water. Okay, what happens to those engines? They say that they want to conserve the environment, but an obvious solution like that is highly suppressed because, I don't know, there's conflict of interests or whatever. But they do not weigh that conflict or those, I don't know, shortcomings or whatever bottlenecks of that technology. They do not weigh to the scarcity or to the need of this technology. Okay, people are dying lack of transport. Okay, if fuel was accessible and every technology was just way cheaper, everything would just be better. Okay, but today technology has just turned into a weapon, you know, a weapon, you know. The military industry complex controls the technology, and they think that humanity is reckless with the technology whilst showing recklessness themselves. So it's astonishing. So we have reactive armor, right, in these tanks. When a shell hits, it reacts. It produces an explosion of itself upon contact. And then these are called proactive, where after detecting an incoming missile, it explodes without ever being contact. And the future is more like, I don't know, like the movie Dune. Okay, there are no guns in that movie because they have these suits that basically making fast-moving projectiles stop in an instant. Okay, and I think this is why they are suppressing these magnetic fields. Okay, just imagine, you know, firing bullets towards the target, and the target just stops the bullet mid-air. You know, it's possible. It's possible. Okay, believe it or not, it's possible. Okay, the issue of energy, that's something else. Okay, they are already working on reactors and such, but I don't think energy is the issue. It's a secret weapon that they are keeping so as to use it later on, for fear mongering and such. Okay, I think if you look close enough, I think you'll find these advanced weapons being used even today. Okay. And also the prophet Enoch, in the book of Enoch, he talks about how these wars will end. Okay, all of these metals like lead and iron being used for war will be made obsolete somehow, will be subdued. Okay, right now they're just acting out, and it will end. Okay, we shall talk about the end of war and how it will occur. Okay, and of course, talking about magnetics, and it also comes, it goes in the whole aviation, because we know that these magnetic fields exist. Okay, they're like a stream of river. Okay, so the only thing we have to do is to create a device that can tap into these energies and basically use that energy and convert it to whatever we want. It is possible, but we have not gone to that direction. Few people have, I think, on their own personal, but us as a civilization as a whole, we have been guided to go the other way, which is actually slower. And I'm just dipping your toes. The radiations. There's these cases in ranches where Babylon, where ranchers are complaining that their livestock are being killed by some invincible force, okay? Precise splicing, no blood is left, vital organs are taken out, and the cuts are so precise, and obvious. These areas where these incidences occur, there's a high levels of radiation being left, okay? And the Lambers encounter, okay, well documented incidents back in the 80s or something, I guess, I don't remember quite, but it involves some people in a forest doing chopping down trees for lumber or whatever, and they were approached by an orb, and this orb took one of them, and it was a whole fiasco. Okay, it was a whole fiasco. It is a well documented case. Okay, and this guy's shirt was burnt. It almost blended with his skin, but there was no heat. Okay, so yeah, it's more like magnetics. The behavior of matter changes when it is exerted to magnetic fields. And of course, the Nikola Tesla is a reviver of these technologies, okay? Because he was the one going against Edison, right? He was the other party, okay? And his whole philosophy was playing with lightning. He didn't think that lightning is dangerous, and he had conquered lightning, basically, okay? And this is a force of nature. Just like how we have conquered rivers to build dams, this electricity that is in an atmosphere that runs our weather system can be utilized to produce endless energy. Okay, the issue is it's free. That's the problem. It's free. Okay, it's free. Now we know the system. We know exactly what I'm saying when I say it's free. That's the problem. It's free. It's everywhere. You just need a device to tap into it. An antenna of sorts. Okay, and people are doing it. Okay, they are building high towers and suspending copper antennas on top of it, and that antenna is connected to a wire, and the other one is coming from the ground, and they get a charge. Okay, they get a charge. So this power is there. Why are we not using it? The enemy. Phenomenons like quantum locking, which they use to make levitating trains, and people are actually experimenting on this. Okay, so the future is really magnetic, if you come to think about it. All the bottlenecks of the previous technology, which would pretty much seem like, I don't know what, ancient. It will be incredible. It will change logistics and everything, but these people are acting like idiots in their fighting for grasping of power. Okay, they will either release it themselves, or it will. Okay, it will be. There's no way. Okay? And of course, transhumanism is gonna be accelerated by the talk of AI and quantum computing, okay? Because the bottleneck of DNA reading is processing power. There's too much information, okay? And of course, hydrogen pops up again in these quantum computers. The power to remake civilization, consumption. It started with soap to clothing, now it's culture. Then it became war and debt. Wireless computers, it's still war and debt. It is, because they lent us these devices, that's how they feel. Okay? We are not able, okay? Believe it or not, these people believe that you cannot afford the device in your hand. You cannot. So they have futuristic tech in bunkers and in lockers, waiting for a time that these technologies become cheap or something. I don't know. You know? Now they are turning to more invasive and more destructive technologies. They want to get into your body, and they want to implant you with things that you cannot just take out on your own, without even long-term observation. Okay, they have just thrown the whole law book of science through the window. And they've just made situations where they can just backslide and just keep the whole observation and experimentation phases of their technologies. Okay, and they've been successful so far, it seems. Okay, and they want you to behave like the pandemic. Just be in your home with your Zoom cameras installed, with your Amazon boxes, just in your own little tiny prison. No, paradise. You know, that's the devil's matrix. But let me tell you this, there's nothing better than a human touch. There's nothing better than the sun upon your skin. There's nothing better than sight of trees and wildlife, or life in general. It's part of our health, you know. It's part of our health, our mental health, which is the most important health. Okay, because if that deteriorates, my friend, everything else deteriorates. Okay, and the mental health industry is just a mess. The answer to everything is just pills, and talking, pills and talking, pills and talking, but sometimes pills. Okay, and of course there's also in the pipeline. Okay, I don't know about 3 nanometer chips or whatever. Okay, they are all working on analog platforms. Okay, they are using analog mics, they are using analog earpieces. There's still that, and the link, people have been working on the down low, you know, people shaping the future. Analog processors make everything faster, or a hybrid of both analog and digital on a single chipset. Imagine that. Okay, if you don't know what that is, you can also look that up if you're a geek like me. Okay, let's move into the pictures. So, as usual, just like the pandemic, you know, the pandemic started this trend of statistics. Like we seem like the world is being run with statistics. Okay, nobody even inquires about how these statistics are acquired actually. Okay, more footage, I guess. It's like the BLM. It's a pandemic spreading out there. Of course, if you're not with the war, they will kill you. Okay, that's what the Wagner boss woke up to, that it was all pointless and it was all meant to go for so long in order for them to fool the world to their real plan. Okay, so imagine this. Does even this make sense? But it's right there in front of your eyes. Does not make sense. He was not down with the war. Okay, and we even see these military leaders in Africa, every time an election comes close, there have to be a attempt on a coup attempt. It's a perfect strategy. I'm just theorizing. It's a perfect strategy to stay in power, you know, just like the guy from this country. They can't form a cabinet, they can't form a government, but when it comes time to war, everybody everybody takes their role very seriously. Look at this idiot, you know. Democracy did this, okay? We put our faith in the system, and somehow we did not we did not foresee such idiots rising into power. Okay, and there are a lot of these type of people out there. A lot of them. Look at this. Okay, look at this. You know, look at this. This is just the agenda. This is the agenda. Collaborate, and that's the Neuralink that we're talking about. In hive mind type situation. Okay, so this is all a psyop for both the hive mind and the transhumanism situation of the Neuralink. Okay, it's just the Nazis. Okay, the Nazis believe that in order for true peace to occur on Earth, okay, they need to take control of the human nature. Okay, the human nature is that's what is finicky. That's what cannot be accounted for. One day a person feels like this, the next day they feel like this, right? So they have to take control of that, okay, as a way to assert dominance, over humanity. Okay, so let's go to Micah 4. Okay, this is more of the future. Okay, one is talking about, you know, Zion being established. Okay, the mountain of God. A king, that's how the Lord shall establish his house. Okay, a king, house of David, house of Judah. Okay, so that is done. Okay, and people shall flow into it. Okay, that's why I keep saying they will come, okay, they will flow into it. Okay, they will come here, they will look up to us to show them how to overcome. Okay, we have overcoming to do of ourselves, but we are ahead. This nation and the government of this nation is way ahead than any government in this earth right now. Believe it or not. Okay, and many nations shall come. This is the second paragraph. They shall go to the house of Jacob. Okay, this is the house of the Lord, the house of Jacob, to teach us, for us to teach them. Okay, I will teach you, you will teach them. I've been taught by the Lord, it will go like that. Okay, so they will be confused. They will need to be deprogrammed. These people who believe in all these bizarre things that are going on in the world today. Okay, so we need to be defeat ourselves, okay, not to be weak in any way. Okay, because trust me, the kingdom will spew you out if you are weak. Okay, and he, who is he? The Lord through the prince, right? Through the prince, right, shall rebuke and judge many people, and strong nations afar off. Okay, like here in Tanzania, rebuking nations in I don't know, in the Middle East, or far west, or far east. Okay, that's what is happening now. And I shall beat their swords into plowshares, meaning the Lord, through the prince, through the kingdom of Zion, shall basically turn weapons of war, or things that are being used to kill, into things that give life. Okay, pruning hooks, and no nation shall lift a sword against a nation. Okay, no nation. There will be no more war. Okay, no more war. Because why? There will be no war because no nation will be independent. Okay, no nation will be independent. It will be one single nation, a whole nation, a single nation, with one ideology, with one mentality. Okay, and people have to do this willingly. Okay, the beast wants to put chips in your microchips in your head to control your will. But I tell you this, okay, if you do not follow the prince, if you do not follow what the Lord says, you will die or you'll be destroyed. It's simple and clean. Okay, that's why I say the system will reject you. Okay, so let's continue to the fourth. And every man shall sit under his vine and his fig tree, and nobody shall be a threat. Okay, Hamas shall not fear Israel. Israel shall not fear Hamas. Okay, Iraq shall not fear anybody. The Americans shall not fear anybody. Okay, it's an issue of leadership. The leaders are the problem. It's pretty obvious right now. If you look, the leaders are the problem. Okay, they have signed their souls to devils. Okay, they are doing the devil's bidding, and they are claiming that it is for the sake of democracy and protecting their people, but in reality, they are killing for the sake of the devil. It goes on. For all people will walk, everyone, in the name of his God, and will walk in the name of the Lord our God forever and ever. Right? So, people, well, this is the option. This is the way of our Father. People are always given options to follow whatever gods they want. Okay, which will basically just okay, with even no resistance, will lead them to know, like, yo, we have been deceived, and they will change their ways. They will convert to believing the one true creator and not gods. Okay, and it says in the 6th, I will assemble her and gather that they are driven out, people who were driven out before from the house of Jacob, house of the Lord, who were sent into slavery and whatnot. And all of those that are afflicted, every type of affliction, they will come to us. So that's why there's peace. Okay, so there's that, the flowing of people into Zion, the remnant. And of course, the Lord will rule the world from Mount Zion, plain and simple. That's all 7 what is saying, okay? The 8th is gaze, although, O tower of the flock, the stronghold of daughters of Zion, and to thee shall it come, even the first dominion. The kingdom shall come to the daughter of Jerusalem. Okay, this is just a promise. Okay, so this is the future. Okay, this is how wars end. Zion will end the war. So that's why the beast will sign this so-called, the Bible talk about the beast signing this peace treaty. Okay, it's just acting like the Prince of God. Okay, it's just pretending to be me. Plain and simple. Okay, this is what I've been saying over and over, over and over. This guy is just copycatting. Since he's popular than me, then it goes on like that. Okay, but he's basically a copycat. That's what he's been doing. It's copycat, even in this aspect, you know. Believe it or not, okay, because they have my internet and everything is theirs, right? So they can manipulate the system while I see it being manipulated. So I know what is wrong with this world. I know the cancer. And of course, talking about orbs and those ranchers, okay, this is one form of these UFOs. There are many. Okay, shall talk about this more when we come back to this subject of magnetism and such. Apparently. So they have an energy crisis that they are trying to manufacture. Okay, and now it's not about the energy crisis. There's always been an energy crisis on Earth since forever. Okay, but now it's the perfect time to launch the operation. What is the world's reaction to the energy crisis that they have created? Okay, they have created 2 crises, in fact. They have created the global warming so as to control the consumption of some forms of energy, and then they have created another crisis, which is the power energy through wars and whatever. Okay, there is shortage of power everywhere in this earth right now as we speak, right? And what is the reaction of the people? They are leaning to more batteries. Where do we get batteries? Congo, Africa, Tanzania. By the end of this, they're gonna poison the whole earth. If you do not be careful, the acid gonna poison the whole earth. Okay, and it will. You watch. Okay, that flowing onto is gonna happen some way or the other. Okay. So all of these crises, it's not about the crisis. Okay, there's always been an energy crisis on the earth, but now they are looking for a certain reaction, and that reaction should be your target. How will they manipulate the masses? Because they are doing it. They own the news, they own the social networks, they own every platform out there right now, right? And these platforms are basically speaking against me, because these platforms are basically saying what Apollo is saying. They are the mouthpieces of the beast. Okay, remember, Satan does not have a voice. Okay, so he creates these things to speak through, to push whatever deception is planning. Okay, so that's why I've been calling for creation of other platforms, alternative platforms. Okay, and he's also on that trajectory, trying to control even those platforms that we will create in the future. Okay, but this is just a grasp for power. Okay, Truth Social is just a grasp for power and control. Okay. Mm? Mm? The beast breaking into two. Mm? Satan, the planet Satan. And this shape on top is a magnetic field. They don't tell you that. It's a magnetic storm that causes that shape to appear. Okay, talking about magnets and the devil. Okay, and of course, gods of India or gods of old, they all claim to have control over lightning. Okay, and of course, we see in this book here, we have Apollo on his chariot. Riding through the sky. Okay, of course, we know it's all about electricity and magnetism, right? And lightning. Okay, that's their weapon. That's their last weapon. Okay, but before they get there, Zion will make their intentions obsolete. Okay, their intentions obsolete, and more power to those people who are fighting within their nations, trying to fight leaders that are trying to bring war and problems to their countries. Okay, yeah, they're all the hand of God, right? So there we have the star of they say the Star of David. Okay, I do not recognize it. Okay, but it's basically 666 hidden. And of course, the same people who are perpetuating these world wars are these people who have written this, right? What is this? You can pause and read it for yourself. Is this the Georgia Guidestones? The audacity of these niggers to even put Swahili on there. Okay, this is just on your nose. It's just on your nose. Okay, they have put Swahili over there because they know the prince is gonna come from Judah, Hebrew, right? So we have a problem in your hands. People plotting to kill us, people causing all type of issues, hunger, death, each and every way. Okay, now it's time for people to choose. Choose with all of your heart. Choose, and believe me, you will go through. Okay, you only have to choose and not be a victim of the devil's operations of hatred. So yeah, General Easy signing out. Love you. Bye.